Assalamu alaikum. So in this video, I'm going to explain some rarely used but very much important Git commands. In the previous video, I explained these three sections, like what are the commands to be used to restore if the code is until committed, then how if it is committed, how to revert those, and what if I pushed it and then I need to reset it. So now I'm going to explain some more. Like the first one is the GitHub shortcuts for the aliases. Like in GitHub, we have some commands, right? So basically, you can also make some shortcuts for those commands, like in the git ignore .git config file. If I put an aliases like st for status, then we can use it for uh, use this st command for getting the status. So this is the first one. So let me show what it is. Like if I try to go open the git config, it will show me the aliases. Like here we have the user, the email and the name, and now if we want we can create the aliases. Let me see the spelling. Alias. So now if I try to create a value like st for status, so now if I try the git st command, it will give me the status of the git. So this is the aliases, like the short form of command. So let me check if it is saved automatically or not. Okay, it is saved, then I have to remove this. Okay, let's cancel it. Now the next section is git amend to ignore the unwanted commit. Like in some time when we code, we do the commit, right? So after that, we need to do small changes, like I need to put a comma or I need to correct the typos. So when we do a simple modification, it shows like there is something changes. We need to track it. We need to commit it. So for small changes to do a commit is like unnecessary things. For that, we can use this git commit amend. So it is like when it will what it will just add a new line with the previous commit. Not it will not create another commit. So it is gonna be very much useful. So this is the git commit and git amend. It is used to merge a new commit with the previous new commit message with the previous commit. The next one is the cloning a project. It's very much frequently used. It's very common. There's nothing to explain about it. Then the clone code of a specific branch. Like when we clone a project from the GitHub repository, it mainly clone the main branch. But what if we need to clone another branch, like the WoW branch? So in that case, what we have to do, we have to put flag dash branch, then we have to mention the branch name, then the GitHub repository link. So it will basically do the clone for a specific branch. Then if we do want to pull some changes of a specific branch from the GitHub repository, so in that case we basically follow two types two steps, two different steps. So first we can do the fetch origin, then we can merge the branch of that origin. Another thing, we can do direct pull of the branch of the origin. So what are the difference between git fetch doing these two steps or doing these single steps? Like when we do the git pull, it basically merges the code with our existing code. So it's unpromoted. The good approach is to do a command for git fetch origin. It doesn't merge the code. It basically pull the code, then you check the if there is anything to resolve, then you merge the code or branch with the existing code. So basically these two things are done for merging the code. Then another thing is like In GitHub, we what as a web developer, what we do, we create a project, then we deploy it. Okay, so GitHub has a special feature uh, to make the React project deployable. So here the steps, like you have to first create or install a package which is GitHub pages. Then you have to create a change in the vi.config.js. Here you have to mention the like the GitHub repository name. Like in that case, it is my React app. Then in the package.json, you have to mention the GitHub repository in the homepage key. Then you have to create a new script for deploy. It is GitHub page dash d dist. So then you have to push the code to the remote repository, then you have to build, and then you have to run this command npm run deploy. It will deploy your existing React project to the GitHub. So then you can test it. So it's a very new thing for most of the people, I think. So if anyone have never tried, you should try. Then the git diff. Suppose in during coding we do a lot of changes, we do a lot of commits. So what about the difference between two commits? To know these things, we can use this git diff. So in that case, suppose we have just done the git add dot. So now we want to check the difference between doing this git add or above this git add. In that case, we can see that the difference is like adding this one line. Okay, so it is git diff dash stage. Like it will compare the staged code with the previous version of the code. Then what if we want to know the difference between the current local code to the repository code? In that case, we have to use the git diff origin slash branch name. So here we can see that only one line is changed. So now if we want to track between two different commits, like here we can see there are two commits. So we want to know the code difference between two commit. In that case, we can compare by putting the commit number, like git diff first commit with the second commit. So these are the things that we can do. Then we can we sometimes just need to know the file names in which we have changed. Okay, so in that case, we can do this command git diff dash dash name dash only. So it will give the file names. Then we want to know the same thing but with the color. So in that case, we have to put git diff dash dash color dashboard. So it will give us the changes with the different color. So it is also very much new for most of the cases. So now then another thing is like stash. There is a sorry, this is not for the stashing. It's like we do some changes in the code, but we don't want to give the command git add dot, but we want to directly push it. So in that case, like we have to we first do some changes, then we write this command. Go. So in that case, we have to put this command like changing a file. Then we have to put the git commit dash a dash m. It is for the message. Then we give the commit message. Then git push. Okay. So it is for like for all the files together. Now, if we want to do a specific file, in that case, we have to give the git commit, then the file path, then the m with the commit message, and then git push without doing git add. So it will directly do all the things. So it's also very much beautiful comments. Then the git stash. Git stash is like creating a temporary zone. Suppose you are in main branch. So now you did some codes. Now your boss said that you have to go to the development branch and do some modifications there. So what you will do, what the changes you have done in this main branch. In that case, you can use this git stash. It will just put all your new changes in a temporary zone and make the code just like the previous or last commit. Then you switch to the development branch and do the modification there, and then when you just return to this main branch, you can do the git stash pop, and it will just recall all the changes you did just before switching to the development branch. So here we can see some more commands related to stash. It's like git stash to create a temporary zone, then get stash list. We can see the list or how many time I have stashed. Then get stash clear. It's to clear all the list or previous stash. Then for reverting those codes, we can use two methods: git stash apply or git stash pop. Git stash apply is just to recall all those codes, but it doesn't clear the stash from the stash list. But what the git stash pop does is it revert those codes and delete the stash from the list also. So what we need, we can use based on the use cases. So this is also very much important when we work different branches together. Okay, so you will easily when you will use it, you will find the benefit of this command. Most of the cases we do not know, so we don't use, but it's very much useful, especially for me. So now this is the final section where we're gonna learn how to remove the config name. Like suppose when we first start coding in a GitHub repository, we have to create a global username and user email that we have checked in the git config in this first video. So what about we are sending our PC to a new person and we don't want to uh, that PC or that user to use my credentials. So in that case, what we can do, we can just unset the existing username and user email. So it will just simply delete the username and username and user email. Then we have to go to the credential manager. It's for Windows. Then we have to click on the window credentials and we have to find this GitHub and we have to remove the username and the user credentials. So it will basically erase our history or the user history. So basically, this was the very short but very much important GitHub commands. So as I have been exploring DevOps, so this was the first thing to learn. And inshallah, in the next videos, I will be explaining some more topics that I've been learning to learn DevOps. So for now, it's Asif Abdul Wadud signing out. Assalamu alaikum.